YTBC, what's the deal? So I got a comment from B-Boy Howie on a video I dropped yesterday asking me, would Izu Ugonoh be a decent sparring partner for Martin? He is in some ways similar to Joshua. I agree with you. I do believe he is in some ways similar to Joshua just by their build. You know, around 6'5". He has an 84-inch reach, very athletic. Also, his physical build is similar to Joshua, very muscle bound and cut up, shredded. Um, Izu Ugonoh has a motor right now. He's hungry, 29 years old. He just, looked impressive in December against Vicente Sandez. That fight's on YouTube. The impressive knockout victory that everybody's still talking about against Will Quarry. I will leave that knockout probably in the description box. You can watch that one. And Will Quarry, when you watch it, he's not some guy that gets knocked out every fight. I mean, he's been in there with the other prospects that I've done videos on, Willis Meehan, Him Yahio, and he took them the full distance in their fights. So for Izu Ugonoh to knock him out in such brutal fashion was very shocking. Izu Ugonoh, has been working with the Joseph Parker camp in New Zealand. He was there for a few years. Now he's going back over to Poland, and hopefully he gets some good fights out in Poland, man. There's a lot of guys that he can fight. Even if he comes to America and fights some Polish guys over here, Adam Konacki, a Hammond fighter, or if he stays out in Poland, Mariusz Wach, Mike Malo's out there. He likes to fight Polish fighters. Artur Spilka, Krzysztof Zimnak, if he comes back from his knockout loss. So I like to see, Izu Ugonoh get some fights out in Poland. But as far as him sparring Charles Martin, yes, I do agree. He has a lot of similarities. He's a good athlete. From what I've heard, Izu Ugonoh has world-class track and field sprinter speed. That's what I've heard. He was a K1 fighter, and he is a guy that has grown into his body, so he will bring good hand speed because he started his career off at cruiserweight. And to watch him at 200 and, damn near 40 pounds is very impressive because he looks skinny. Even in some of those K1 fights, he looks skinny compared to the guy that I see today. But he's very hungry, He will bring good hand speed. He kind of throws the similar combination Joshua likes to throw. He fights in a similar pattern that Joshua fights in. I think Joshua is a better prospect. If Joshua was a 10, Izu Ugonoh is at least a solid 9 as far as a prospect. So he has good power, a good right hand, just like Joshua. Probably just as nimble or probably more nimble on his feet, more coordinated than Joshua. You can probably argue that. I'd probably say Izu Ugonoh is more coordinated on his feet, at least from the eye test, than Anthony Joshua. I know some of you huge Joshua fans don't want to hear that, but so he can bring some things to Martin. And even if Martin would have pushed him back in sparring and try to walk him down, Izu Ugonoh isn't a guy, at least from his prospect fights that I've seen, he isn't a guy that's going to fall apart when he gets pushed backwards. He will fight back. He will throw a jab out there and try to turn you, try to show a fighting spirit. So, and I don't think these guys should be shy of getting in there with each other. There's some sparring footage from back in the day. I seen David Tua was working with Evander Holyfield in preparation for his fight with Mike Tyson. I thought that was awesome. Guys around that contender stage, well, Evander was far more than a contender back then, but David Tua was on his way up, and for him to get in there and get some work in is phenomenal. So I like when these guys do that. Luis Ortiz is getting good work in with Trevor Bryan. And, speaking of Trevor Bryan, he would be another good sparring partner for Charles Martin. Even a guy like Jarrell Big Baby Miller, just a big guy that'll walk you down with the jab, right hand, left hook. Guy like to throw uppercuts and be aggressive because for the most part, that's what Anthony Joshua's going to do, in my opinion anyway. But yeah, Izu Ugonoh, Joseph Parker, any of those two, perfect sparring partner, I think, for Charles Martin. And not just a sparring partner for him in particular, but just it'd be great work for the both of them. You know what I mean? And right now in Anthony Joshua camp, there's a young prospect out of Sweden who I have as the second best Sweden prospect right now, second behind Adrian Granat. But that guy is Otto Wallen, a 14-0 prospect who's helping out Anthony Joshua. So to answer your question, man, yeah, Izu Ugonoh and some other guys, Gerald Washington, even Dominic Brazil to a certain degree, just a big guy that's going to walk you down and try to chop you up, because that's what Anthony Joshua is going to do. But Izu Ugonoh will be a perfect sparring partner. YTBC. I'm out.